Hello and welcome. Apologies for the technical difficulties there at the start. Our sound apparently wasn't working correctly, but we're here now and we are live for the final round of the AOR Formula C Championship here at Hockenheim GP. It's gonna be a good one, a really close season, and cannot wait to see how this unfolds. I'm here as always with Mr. JP McKinley for the final time. How are you doing?
Hello there. Not too bad, buddy. This is shaping up to be a hell of a season finale. The championship could pretty much go to any of the top three, depending on how the final two races turn out. But that's great to see.
Yeah, as qualifying is just getting underway, we will just jump over and have a look at those league tables. We see As Turbo currently in the lead at 325 points. Yogurt, who's unfortunately not with us tonight, so he's not going to gain any further from second, but we'll see how far he ends up dropping after tonight's two races. Boris is sitting 28 points shy of As Turbo, so going to be an interesting one there, given the point structure, which first place is 50 points, second is 44, and third is 38, so 2 wins for Boris and 2 thirds for As Turbo. Boris will take this championship, I believe. No, it may be a third and a fourth. So a bit of luck Boris is going to need. Big Wilk, another 28 points back. And then Stefan Carey back there in 5th place. But overall, it's been a great season and a great championship. And can't wait to see how this unfolds tonight.
Yeah, for sure. The season has gone absolutely ridiculously fast for me, but I have to say the qualifying is already getting a bit spicy, excuse me, as the current 4th place in the championship is sitting P1 and qualifying Big Wilk with a 134.0.
Yeah, it's a great time there, and Speedy Go is back with us tonight, which is good to see. He's been missing for the last couple of weeks. Maybe he wasn't allowed in the UK, having missed Silverstone and Brands Hatch races, but he's back with us now here in Germany for Hockenheim. So it's good to see Speedy Go back behind the wheel. He's definitely a fast guy, and he could shake things up in this championship. Obviously got no real contention, sitting in 20th place, having several missed rounds. To no fault of his own, but we'll see how he shapes things up tonight and maybe make it a bit even more spicier at the front.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of them drivers tonight that have pretty much got nothing to lose, and Speedy Go is definitely one of them, sitting P20 in the championship, so he may as well just go out and give it his all. There's no reason for him to sit back and let other people battle it out for the championship.
It's indeed, as we see, Big Wilk still current leader. Can Speedy go any faster? He can't, but As Turbo definitely did. Managed a 42.8 there by As Turbo to take pole position so far, as we get within 10 minutes left of qualifying. So already shaping up for a fantastic race the way it's going back and forth with the positions here.
Yeah, and this is our new guy, Phoenix, who debuted at Brands Hatch. He's going to come across the line now. Currently sitting P11. Let's see where he's going to put him. He's going to jump him up to 7th. He'd be pretty happy with that there, but I'm sure there's more time, as that's going to be invalidated. At that time, he's almost put it into the wall, just saving it there.
Yeah, tough call, turn 1 here with the curbing. If you get it wrong over there, it definitely just sends you right out to the outside, and there's no hope of saving it out there sometimes. So good job for him keeping it together. But P7, as you say, I'll be happy with that one. That was his finishing position last week at Brands Hatch, where he debuted in race 2. So definitely be happy with that qualifying time.
Yeah, definitely. And here we have one of the drivers who is trying to work their way to grab the team's championship. This man, WMDR Martin, who's teamed up with Stefan Carey, are currently sitting 2nd in the championship, behind Yogurt and Crab. But Crab has his work cut out tonight because he's on his own.
Yeah, there's a 38 point difference there that they have a cushion for, which is not a whole lot, considering that's worth about, well, 2nd place gets you 44 points and 3rd place gets you those 38 points, so it should be quite close, considering Stefan Carey and Martin tend to get 4th, 5th, 6th place sort of finishes.
Yeah, they've
It's
been
gonna be very
ridiculously.
close.
They've been very consistent throughout the season. These two teammates have definitely worked quite well together. But we'll have a look at Ticklish now, sitting in P6. As I'm pretty sure Martin just spun as as the cameras moved away. But we'll have a look at Ticklish now coming into the final sector, into the stadium.
Yeah, Ticklish has not had the greatest of seasons. It seems that every week a different issue comes up for him to take him out of the race. We're hoping he can have a clean one this time. It'll be great to see him have some good battles and keep it on the track.
Yeah,
it's not really his fault for going off. It's always been incidents involving one Stefan Carey, I believe it was at Silverstone, but not sure what other incidents he's involved in. But there's 6th place. That's a good time for Ticklish. Definitely be happy with that one.
Yeah, it seemed to be at Silverstone. It was the battle of the coordinators, Ticklish and Carey going at it, but Ticklish definitely lost that battle. But he definitely, you can tell that he has pace. It's just that he's all season long, pretty much every race he's had the slightest bit of, he's just been so a little bit unlucky pretty much every race, and then it just kind of tumbleweeds from there, and then it just gets worse and worse.
Yeah, it only takes one little touch and it just ruins your entire race, doesn't it? So that's basically what he's had for the last 4 races or so, last 2 races at least, where he's just been having to take a double pit stop, and that just puts you right at the back then with a lot of work to do.
But this man now, Stefan Carey, the guy we were just talking about, seems to be kind of struggling. He's 3 seconds off the pace of Speedy Go. That's a big margin now, considering that we normally see Carey right up the front in the top 5.
Yeah, and obviously getting sideways there as well on the exit. He might just be struggling at this track. Keep an eye on it. Maybe just not being able to get a clean lap together, which is why he's stuck down there. But I would, like you say, expect him a top 5 sort of qualifier. But we do have some Celtic Bromance fans. I say fans. I should be using the singular. With Hendrix UK cheering on Team Celtic in the Team Celtic in the chat. Whether that's for Celtic Land Bromance, Celtic Bromance Alpha, or for yours truly commentary team.
Yeah.
We'll take it either way.
Yeah, just like to say hi to all my fans.
All your fans, the singular. But as we say, that Crab has managed to stick it on pole with a time 0.086 faster than Speedy Go. So as we said, Speedy Go is going to be could be quite the spanner in the works for some of these teams as they battle out for these final points. May work for or against As Turbo here, depending on how it goes during the races.
Yeah, definitely. Pretty sure As Turbo won't be wanting to see it, much of Speedy Go, because he's battled him in many other championships, like GT3s and other platforms. But because he knows just how fast he is, as Crab gets it slightly sideways there, taking a leaf out of Jogurksburg.
Yeah, I'm sure both of them being teammates and both Latvians, I'm sure they've been sharing each other's setups, and well, they haven't been sharing setups, they can only do loose or stable, but at least sharing tips and driving techniques to see if Crab can do any damage in the closing stages of this league. Crab currently sitting in 9th in the championship, having a couple of didn't manage to start at Red Bull Ring. He missed those 2 rounds and had a DNF at Brands Hatch, but still a lot to play for him. He can still make up some positions today with some decent finishes. May even get a podium if he's absolutely rapping and gets a couple of top spots on that podium. So we'll see how he goes today, especially when he's starting from pole in this race, so he's got to be quite confident that he can do that.
Yeah, we'll just have a look at his lap now to see if he can improve on his pole time. As he runs down now to turn 2, heavy on the brakes here, but you want to try and keep a tight line because you want to carry the speed as much as possible. That's not what you want to do. I was going to say you want to carry as much speed, or almost brake early and carry the speed through there. to get as much straight line speed up this up to the hairpin. But as we talk, Big Wilk has thrown a spanner in the works and is now sitting P1, almost 4 tenths up on Crab.
That is a fantastic time. As you were saying that, commentating on Crab's lap, I saw Speedy Go did manage to go faster by 200ths of a second, which not quite enough to get through Crab, but impressive stuff here by Big Wilk to stick it on pole position as we got just over 2 minutes left of qualifying to go, so a couple more laps for these guys.
We can see Big Wilk there taking a very wide line there and let the car run out wide on the exit. This next corner is pretty much flat out. You just want to chuck the car in early and let the car run out wide, and then you're going to be heavy on the braking for the for this left-hander, but carry the speed through, let the car run out wide, and then just kind of dance it through this section.
Yeah, a little lift over here, sometimes a dab of the brakes, just coax the front end in. Again here, braking in towards the apex here, getting back on the throttle early as you go through the exit of the corner. A lot sharper left-hander than you think here. It comes up to you, but there's also quite a lot of camber to get you around, so it's a very weird corner. Sharper than you think, but also the camber can help you.
Yeah, you can definitely carry more speed than you think, but and then you come across the line drifting, and if the car isn't wanting to go to the left, and you know you're not going fast enough, because that and he's improved again, 7 tenths faster than Crab. What an insane lap we've just seen him from Big Wilk.
Yeah, great stuff there to put himself 7 tenths in front of the competition. Big Wilk currently sitting 4th in the championship, 56 points behind As Turbo in 1st, so again, a lot of work for him to do today. He's going to have to stick it on the top spot and hope that As Turbo doesn't have the greatest of races, who's currently starting P4. So all these drivers can do today, just do the best they can, race their own races, and whatever happens in the championship happens. They can't control other people's races to that degree, so all they can do is just get the best position they can.
Yeah, definitely. And we can see now a couple of drivers, Oz Dunder, Boris and Cameron B have all retired to the pits. They've felt they can't improve on what they have, but there is only 10 seconds left in the qualifying session. We'll have a look to see if As Turbo, who's now put it on up to 2nd, he's just gone 0.1 seconds behind Big Wilk. I can't do math, I do promise you. But it's still not enough to grab pole from Big Wilk. Let's have a look at Crab, who's going to come across the line now. And it's not enough.
Yeah, improved by a 10th, but can't get any higher than 3rd. Speedy Go still out on the track though, so could upset the competition here. Speedy Go gets a good lap in together. But even then,
Big Wilk can't go any faster either. That's a Speedy Go come across the line. Where's it going to put him? He improves by a 10th, but it's still not enough.
Yeah, the track getting faster towards the end of the qualifying here, but some people just not quite getting there, only a couple of tenths, which is not enough to gain any positions. As we go to DFR now, currently sitting in P5, which good qualifying for him if he can keep it there, which it seems likely so. Whether he can improve, got 3 tenths to find to beat Speedy Go here and to claim 4th.
That looked like a pretty good final 2 turns. And he does improve by 2 tenths, but it's still not enough to beat Speedy Go to 4th. So Dayerfell will start in 5th place. Let's have a look at Keyboard Blondie now coming around the 2nd last turn. Oh, he had a bit of a lift there. He thought the car was going to lose control. Comes across the line. It will have hurted him coming down the start straight, but it's still enough to get him 7th. Yeah,
big jump up there. I think they were down in 11th, were they not? And then now up to 7th, so great final lap there by Keyboard Blondie. But the standings and starting grid for this race: Big Wilk taking pole, As Turbo followed by Crab, Speedy Go picking up 4th, dark horse for this race now in this championship. Dayafal in 5th, Oz Dunder picking up 6th, Keyboard Blondie with a great final lap there to take 7th. Stefan Carey in 8th, which is a bit surprising. Thought we'd have a few more positions up from there, but 8th is the best he could manage there. And Boris, our 3rd place sitter in the championship, is starting in 9th in a Lambromance sandwich with WMDR Martin starting in 10th.
Yeah, and then in 11th we have our Ticklish, the most unluckiest man, I have to say, on the grid. And then we've got the new guy, Phoenix. Well, he's maybe not a new guy, but he's done a few laps now in this league. And then we've got WRC Animal down in 13th. Kind of surprised at that, and normally he's a bit of a qualifying whiz kid. And then 14th we got Mr. Ferret. 15th we got Uni. Also a bit of a surprise there, because normally Uni does pretty well. Cameron B in 16th, and last but not least, we got Enema in 17th.
And we have one of our viewers wondering where Yogurt is today. Unfortunately, he just couldn't make this race. He has not been banned, and as far as we're aware, he's not a cheater. He is just that quick on track, from what we can tell. So, yeah, unfortunately, just can't make it today. He was sitting 2nd in the championship, but it's only downhill for him from here.
Yeah, it's pretty much when you have Yogurt on the track, he's either going to win or crash trying. If you look at the results of Yogurt, he's had a win, a DNF, a 9th, a did not start, and then the rest were all wins. It's all or nothing with that guy.
Yeah, 4 wins in a row, and the DNF was after losing a tyre with a collision with Strongest Avenger at Monza. That was quite an entertaining spectacle, because tyres were not meant to fall off these cars, but fall off it did.
Yeah. The coordinator that day of Stefan Carey definitely had a bit of an earful. But yeah. So here we are, standing start for the first race of the night.
Yep, quick sprint race here as the lights are going red. We're getting ready to start, and green. We are go, go, go. That's As Turbo making a pretty poor start there.
Yeah.
Big Wilt getting to the apex very early, but As Turbo managed to keep it there in 2nd. But he's under threat now as they head towards the hairpin. Crab looking on the inside already, making it known early that he's going to go for it, and he's going to have the inside line, but can he hold it there? As they go around to the left-hander onto the huge, long, sweeping Parabolica.
And I'm pretty sure he's going to try and pick up the slipstream, but Speedy Go from behind Crab. Are they going to make it 3 wide? They definitely are. 3 wide as they go down the Parabolica, down towards the hairpin. As it seems pretty much the entire grid has made it through cleanly. And Speedy Go takes both positions. Crab also, as he just takes a position, he spins and gets it going the right direction again, but he's dropped way down the field now.
Yeah, to no contact there. Crab just getting a bit happy on the throttle with cold tyres, sending it sideways and around. Unfortunate for him, but you have to pick up the pieces there from back in P13 as he's.
Yeah, there's bits of contact everywhere. This car's crashing, and there's Ticklish, Uni, Mr. Ferret, Cameron B's involved, and again, Mr. Crab has not had the best of luck on an opening lap and has lost his front wing.
Yeah, he's going to have to, believe he's going to have to pit for that. It's not easy to control these cars without any of that front downforce, so may see him pit just to make it to the end safely now. Good news for these guys here though, Deafal and Ozdunder getting a free position up as they finish the first lap. Got to be happy to keep it clean there and get through all that carnage.
Yeah, for sure, but this is pretty much what Big Wilk, our 4th place in the championship, will be wanting. It is still mathematically possible that he can win the championship. He is only 56 points behind As Turbo, who's currently sitting P3 in the race. But yeah, every point counts.
Yeah, it's pretty bad things here for Crab, Ticklish and Uni having to go into the pit lane on the opening lap. Anima, it's currently not on our chart here, but obviously you can see more than what I can see.
I guess when I said that everyone made it through in the first lap cleanly, that was the commentator cursed.
I spoke a bit too soon there, but Stefan Carey has dropped positions here. He's down in 10th place as well, so I'm not sure if anything happened to him in the opening laps or whether he's just doesn't really have the confidence so far in this race to really push it. WRC Animal now sitting in 9th place, following Keyboard Blondie and WMDR Martin in front of them as a trainers. Animal goes off a little bit there.
As Blondie and Darefell are side by side as they head in towards the stadium section. And Keyboard Blondie takes the position. That's a decent move there, to be fair, but will Boris get the position as well? He does. Darefell dropping down 3 positions now, down to P8.
Yeah, an unfortunate set of corners there for Darefell after Keyboard Blondie made the move. He's kind of put Darefell off his line. He's dropped 3 positions, but he's just got to get his head down now and just keep with this train and pick up any piece he can. He's looking down the inside into turn 1 here. It's not very corner, there's only really one line. Stefan Carey goes sideways and loses it. And
there's been a huge crash.
I believe that's missed. And another.
He's been again.
2 guys. That his teammate there that's hit him, or is that the other team? No, that's
I think that's Phoenix.
Yeah. Unfortunately,
that's a huge crash.
Stefan Carey is stuck on his roof.
He's reset, but he's got absolutely insane amount of damage. That car will not be driving straight.
Yeah, that's a go to the pit lane and just try and pick up the points for last place, I think, for Carey here. That was from one sideways spin to absolute carnage in the blink of an eye there. So Carey just trying to nurse his car back now with 0 aero. He's a long drive.
What looks like no steering or suspension. That car is absolutely destroyed.
Yeah, hopefully he can get out of the way here, as he got Crab coming up behind him to take the position. Obviously Crab had to pit early on.
Yeah, he'll be an absolute hero if he can get that back in one piece. It's just to say that he's almost gone off and just avoided the wall. But I guess we'll take back to the action and save him the embarrassment as we jump to WRC Animal now. But yeah, WRC Animal in the thick of it now in P7, trying to hunt down Boris and close the gap. As Boris has a bit of a moment, as so does WRC Animal now coming across the line.
Yeah, WRC Animal almost had too much of a run on Boris then and had to slow his car down pretty rapidly to avoid the accident coming out the corner, but keeps it together. He's got to tuck in behind again now and follow him round. But that turn 1, I can see a few more people having to pick up time penalties there. From what I remember, I'm not sure it's that easy to get rid of that time penalty as you head towards this hairpin. So.
Well, I know you can cut the first turn, but if you run wide on the curbing on the left hand side after turn 1, it's very easy to get a time penalty there. But yeah, Keyboard Blondie with 30 seconds, that must have been a jump start surely.
Yeah,
and Crab as well with 2 seconds.
Well, a jump start's usually only 20 seconds. I'm not sure unless it scales with how much you jump it. Speaking from experience, I think it's 20 seconds.
Yeah, you love a good jump start, don't you?
Yeah, it makes things interesting, doesn't it? Anyway, we have out front.
I didn't get an advantage, I promise.
Out front, we do have Big Wilk leading the way with over a second gap here from Speedy Go. Like we said, throwing a spanner in the works.
Yeah.
Carrie's
on the inside, trying to keep out of the action.
Trying to get back slowly in his absolutely wounded Formula C. Hopefully he can keep it out the way of these other drivers now, not taking anyone else out with him. But back to our race leader here, Big Wilk, leading the way, currently 4th in the championship, as I said, followed by Speedy Go, who's missed a lot of races, but he's going to play a huge part in the championship here today if he can take some points away from As Turbo, who's our current championship leader.
Yeah. We'll have a look now at P7, Darefell, WRC Animal and Keyboard Blondie. Currently sitting, now this is P6, P7 and P8, all going at it.
I'm happy to report that Stefan Carey has made it to the pit lane, so It's a good job he made it back out safely, and I would say in one piece, but in one piece that was left of the car is what he made it back in.
Yeah. But this is not what Crab wanted to see. Is actually WMDR Martin, sorry, sitting in P4. This is not what Crab wanted to see for the team's championship.
Yeah, it's one thing we need to keep an eye on. Obviously, Crab and Yogurt are teammates in Broken Wheel Racing, currently leading the team championship, but Yogurt is not here today. So Crab is flying that flag by himself. Second place is Celtic Lambromance, which is WMDR Martin, and the Stefan Carey, who is obviously in the pit lane and not going to pick up too many points. So definitely a spicy one there. There is a 38-point gap, which is about the points you get for third place in this race. So we'll see how that plays out towards the end. Obviously, Yogurt not here and Carey not picking up points. It's not the end of the world for Crab and their team.
Yeah, but if Boris wants to make an imprint on this championship, he needs to get up the road and try get in a bit more points, because finishing P6 is not going to help him in the final race.
Yeah, Boris sitting third in the championship, but has yet to actually win a race in this league. He's had plenty of fourth places. He's finished fourth 5 times this championship. He's had a second and a third as well, but never managed that top spot. But he's managed to get consistency, and that's what's got him to third in the championship so far. But we'll see how much further he can go now. Imagine with any...
Sorry to cut across you, but for some reason we can see that Crab is also in the pits. Boris now, that's a back marker. Get past the back marker and into the hairpin. As we see,
I don't believe that is a back marker. I believe that's WRC Animal.
Sorry,
that was for position.
WRC Animal. Yeah. Sorry, I do apologise.
The back marker is on the inside. I assume that's Uni or Ticklish getting out of the way. No, that'd be Uni getting out of the way there on the inside. But yeah, Boris getting the move done around the parabolic, having a great exit out of turn 3 to get it done before the hairpin. So Boris makes himself up to P5 and on the march down to WMDR Martin now. But we know Martin, when he's in hot lap mode, he is rapid. Yeah,
Martin, even though he's on the controller, take nothing away from that guy. He is rapid.
You saw him, he has 1 race win to his name, a Red Bull ring, which after a great pit strategy he came out in front and just ran away with it. So in clean air he can definitely get work done. If anything, I can see Martin chasing Turbo down before Boris gets to him. But we'll see how it plays out. A speedy go now coming through the first sector. Still sitting 1.5 seconds behind Big Wilk, no damage done either way. He hasn't gained, hasn't lost, and As Turbo's sitting another 2.5, nearly 3 seconds behind him. So top 3 positions, not a huge lot of action, just trying to keep it clean and just put those laps in.
Yeah, the top 3 pretty much lapping all at the same time. Pretty sure Big Will could be happy with us here, but I think he would love it if As Turbo could have a slight mistake or something to try and drop down into the clutches of Martin, so they could maybe battle a bit more.
Yeah, it's a 10-second gap for As Turbo back to Martin, so it's a big ask for that sort of level of mistake. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. And Big Wilk, all he can do, as we said before, is just race his best race, and everything else, whatever else happens, and you may be able to get a championship out of this.
Yeah, stranger things have happened. We'll have a look at File, who now is P6 and he's been hounded by WRC Animal because he's just got past WRC Animal. He's had a terrible run through that there corner, and WRC Animal doesn't make him pay.
It's a little tough track for these cars because the curbing is not the friendliest at Hockenheim, from what I recall. It's very easy to just go over the curb and just sends the car sideways, as we saw what happened with Stefan Carey. It's not It's not the easiest of tracks when it comes to curbing here, and the fastest line can often lead to tragedy if you touch a curb at the wrong angle on an exit, and or even on the apex of this corner here is especially bad. I found whenever I was driving here. It can often just swing the car around too much like that, as we see WRC
Just
Animal
like
proving
that,
my
yeah.
point. Again, it's sideways there around turn 2. It's not the friendliest of tracks when it comes to those sort of things, and that's going to drop him back a few seconds and give Deofal a bit of breathing room now.
Yeah. As we see now, Martin has his last lap was a 44.1, so it's not the quickest of laps, and Boris has definitely started closing the gap. The gap's now down to about 2 seconds.
Yeah, you can see down in P11 we've actually got Oz Dunder even lapping about the same lap times as Big Wilk and Speedy Go, so might see Oz Dunder make a last few lap dash to the top 10 position. For those who are unaware, the next race will be a feature race, and it will be reverse grid for the top 10 positions. So if you finish 10th here, you get pole position. But if you finish 11th, you're starting 11th in the next race. So Oz Dunder will definitely be trying to chase down that pretty sizable gap that Ticklish has got to try and gain that. As we see, Oz Dunder's actually done a 150 that lap, so all that praise for doing 144 just been pretty much lost in that previous lap by Oz Dunder. Maybe due to back markers he's got going on here. I'm not sure who that is in front of. Imagine Crab, is that in front of him?
I do believe that was Crab. I think he's been held up because the Crab would be in 15th, so technically Crab is a back marker for Oz Dunder. But we all know how fast Crab can be.
Yeah, I'm not sure he's the kind of guy to just yield to blue flags. If he thinks he's faster, he's going to try and push it and keep going, because he's still racing his own race. He's got Mr. Ferret 4 seconds up the road, so he's only got 4 laps to get that move done on Mr. Ferret. You can see just in the foreground there, coming around this corner. But it's not helping Oz Dunder here one bit if he's actually getting stuck behind Crab. Crab doing 144.9 in his last lap. We'll see as they come across the line now whether Oz Dunder's actually been held up here or not. And I'd say not, with a 142.4 by Crab. It's pretty quick, so if Oz Dunder can stick on the back of this...
and just as we say that, Crab has spun again and put it into the wall at the pit exit.
It's not being Crab's day today. See if he can pick up the pieces ready for race 2, but I think he's just going to crawl his way to the line now. So we jump to Speedy Go, who's put a few tenths into that gap, but not anything that's going to be contesting that first place from Big Wilk yet, and can't see it happening unless Big Wilk has an incident now.
Yeah, this time 1 lap ago, Big Wilk put a gap to Speedy Go of what, about 1.7 seconds, but now Speedy Go has returned the favour and closed the gap back down to 1 second. This race definitely isn't over, and Speedy Go is letting Big Wilk know that just because he's here to race, you know, he is here to race, and he's not here just to have fun. Like, he's even though he's sitting P20 in the championship.
Yeah, Speedy Go's got nothing for the championship, but he's here just to prove his worth and show that he has the pace when he is here, and he has every right to be battling up there with those top boys and throwing a spanner in the works. So.
And here we can see Boris has finally caught up to Martin. That's the battle for P4. Martin, his last lap was a 44.5. Boris was a 43.1.
Yeah, this will be huge for Boris if he can get this position for the championship. As you say, he's currently sitting in P3 in the championship. And if he 4th place is worth 33 points, 5th is 28, so an extra valuable 5 points if he gets this position.
Yeah, I think the top 3, the podium positions, are out of the question with only 2 laps remaining, but Boris could definitely grab some valuable points off Martin. And we cut back to Speedy Go as the gap has gone under a second. Big Wilk is under big pressure here.
Got 2 laps to hold on now, as you see Speedy Go is putting, well, he put in 6/10 in that lap into Big Wilk's lead, so could definitely be doable in these final 2 laps. Big Wilk needs to watch his mirrors now as he comes through to the hairpin.
Can Big Wilk hold on for a lap and a half, or will Speedy Go take the win? There's only one way to find out, and that's to keep watching. Boris and Martin are as well battling it out. The gap keeps fluctuating as Speedy Go has a huge moment. He just gets too much on the curb and drops way back, and that's just what Big Wilk will be wanting to see. But now Ass Turbo has closed the gap right down to Speedy Go.
Yeah, Speedy Go's got to be careful now in this as we approach the final lap. Having a big wobble like that's just got to get him a bit nervous going into this final lap. He's got a bit of a cushion, just over a second to Ass Turbo here, but hopefully he can hold on to that for Big Wilk's charge to this championship. That was a very scary moment there for Speedy Go. Did well to keep it out the barrier and keep it going.
And Crab again going off that curb at the exit of turn 1. You can see just how fast Crab is. Like, he doesn't deserve to be a backmarker, but he's just didn't have any luck. And those incidents really cost him. Sitting down P14 behind Ass Turbo, he's lapped. But he's right there. I don't think it's worth making a move on Ass Turbo because the next car in P13 is almost 40 seconds up the road from Crab. Sorry.
Yeah, hopefully Crab can just keep it clean behind and just bring it home and not interfere with that race going on. But let's go to Boris now in P5. Got MDR Martin just ahead of him, 7/10, 8/10 or so.
I do believe Martin went quite deep at the hairpin. I wonder if he can hang on. And we're going to have to cut to the leader now as he only has 2 corners remaining. Fantastic drive from Big Wilk. Exceptional stuff. Led from start to finish. No dramas whatsoever. The final corner. And across the line, what a fantastic win for Big Wilk. Speedy Go hangs on to the second place. Ass Turbo in P3. Martin, will he hang on to P4 or will Boris grab it at the line? Martin's got 1 corner remaining. He comes across the line. There's a backmarker in the way, but he just gets out of the way in time, and Martin picks up P4 with Boris picking up P5. And Darefile picking up P6. WRC Animal with a bit of a recovery drive from that terrible qualifying that he had to pick up P7. And across the line. And Keyboard Blondie now coming across the line as well in P8. Cameron B in P9, I think, if I'm not mistaken, that's his first top 10 of the season.
He had a 9th in Monza, but it will equal that position. But he should jump Keyboard Blondie, who had the 30-second penalty here. So, with the 8th place, that will be his best finish of the season.
Fantastic stuff from Cameron B. And Ticklish. If you can keep it on the road, buddy, you'll start on pole. You've got 2 corners remaining. There he is. And Oz Dunder now. P11. Unfortunate for him, but you will start P11 in the feature race. Comes across the line. But unfortunately, he has pitted this race for damage. Got caught up in the first lap. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Big Wilk, your winner of the sprint race. with a best lap of a 1:42.0. Absolutely thrilling stuff. Speedy Go taking second, and Ass Turbo, the current championship leader, in P3. Martin P4, Boris P5, Darephile P6, WRC Animal and P7. Cameron B did indeed pick up P8. Keyboard Blondie taking P9, and Ticklish Picklewickle in P10, who will start on pole for the feature race. P11, we had Oz Donder, Uni in P12, Enema, who actually qualified last in that race, picking up P13, Crab managing to get his way back to 14th, Mr. Ferret finishing 15th, Stefan Carey, who will be absolutely devastated with that result after the huge crash he had at turn 1, finishing 16th, and Phoenix as well involved in that crash with Carey, had to retire after the second lap, finishing out the top 17.
Yeah, great race there. A bit of drama with Speedy Go picking up that second place. Going to really close that gap down now. We do have some provisional points here. Currently, that puts Ass Turbo still in the lead, but with now a 28-point gap to Boris. Big Wilk has been promoted to third, has jumped above Yogurt, who's 56 points behind Ass Turbo, 28 points as well behind Boris. So 28 points seems to be the gap between them. So Big Wilk can at least, or Ass Turbo has a okay finish. Just needs a top 7 or so. It's going to secure him the championship here today in this final race.
Yeah, definitely. So, Kiki, who would you say was your driver of the race?
I mean, Big Wilk put a lap time in that's 4/10 faster than everyone else, led from pole to finish. You can't ask for more from a driver than that, really. Got to give it to the guy to just be able to keep it composed for the full race distance, even with a Speedy Go in his mirrors the entire time. It's a great driving there by Big Wilk.
Yeah, I have to agree. It was absolute perfection to see that there. It's definitely what you would want to see if you're going for the championship. But maybe it might be too little too late, or it might be just in time.
Yeah, it's going to be... Ass Turbo's going to have a pretty terrible race, this race coming up, for it to make a dent into his championship here. He's got, like I say, a 28-point gap. In fact, sorry, it's not a 28-point gap. I've been looking at the wrong place. Let me recalculate. It's... I can't figure out the gap, to be honest. It's an even bigger gap now, because Boris has lost 10 points in that round. So it's about a 38-point gap from Ass Turbo to Boris. So if Ass Turbo finishes in the top 3, the championship is his today. That's all he's got to do. It's not even top 3. I can't even do the maths. It's too much. We need more on our team to be able to work all this out so quickly. My spreadsheet should have done more than what it does, but either way, it's quite a large lead for Ass Turbo here now.
We will do our best to keep it up to date during the feature race.
It's a 38-point lead, and yeah, if Ass Turbo DNFs, then Boris needs to finish in the top 3. There's a fact we can take home.
But yeah, so we'll I think we'll take a little break from there, and we'll see you at the start of the feature race.
Yep, just a quick 5-10 minute break now, and we'll be back shortly for the feature race. It will be fantastic to see the final race of the season. It's all going to unfold here in a few minutes' time. See you in a bit. Welcome back to the final race of the season for the AOR Formula C Championship here on Project Cars 2. I'm joined here with JP McKinley for this race, and we cannot wait to get this started as they're 2x2 coming through the final sector now. Oh, it's been a very quick 6 weeks, or 8 weeks, however long it's even been. 6 weeks, 8 weeks, who knows? It's been 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks, 6 rounds, 12 races. And it's all come down to this. We're coming around to the last corner. Ticklish Picklewickle will drop the hammer when he so chooses. And this will unleash the field for the final time of Season 1. Ticklish Picklewickle's dropped the hammer. The grid has gone. He's got a great start. He's round turn 1 before anybody else. And Crab is in the pits already. As Camera B is a bit of a moment, but he gets around it okay. Boris is in the thick of it. He's Speedy goes having a look up his inside. Martin's on his inside. Martin gets the position, and Martin also gets past. As a run, Boris has had a bit of a bad start coming out turn 2. As now Big Wilk gets past him on the part about there. Speedy Go now up to P6 as well. Big Welk dropping down to P7. Then WDR Martin ahead of Speedy Go. Goes defensive. Speedy Go trying to go around the outside, but loses all the momentum as Martin firmly takes the apex. But this is great stuff. Ticklish Picklewickle, the first time he's led the race. It's not the first time he's led the race from pole in the feature race, but this is the first time he's gone a lap without an incident.
Yeah, it's great to see there. Ticklish having a fantastic start, timed it to perfection to break away from the field. He's got a 2.5 second gap now to Keeble Blondie and some free air to really prove his worth when he's not being swamped by the other drivers and ending up in bad incidents. So Ticklish with a great chance now to have a really good final finish here. And
I'm not sure what happened to Crab at the start, but he is plumb last and 16th right now.
Yeah, some very strange occurrings there. He's still coming around the final couple of corners, so it's a long way back for him to gain this back. We have Carrie and WRC Animal actually in the pits. So some incident early on between those pairings. It's not going to be good for the Celtic Lamb Bromance, with Carrie now behind Crab. So it's up to WMDR Martin to keep pushing for his team. Currently in P4 with Crab in 14th. That should be enough for the Lamb Bromance team to take the championship as it stands.
Speedy Go has a look at Cameron behind Martin and towards the hairpin. But Cameron B losing out 2 spots there as he was forced wide by Speedy Go, dropping down to 7th, and now there's Cameron B dropping down through the field. Speedy Go and Big Wilk, the 2 guys who were going at it for the race win in the sprint race, and now have Martin in their sights. As Speedy Go with a huge moment on the curb again. He's done that in the last race, and he's lost a huge amount of time to Martin, and Big Wilk will be all over him coming into the stadium section.
Yeah, Speedy Go's got to be careful around there in future. It's like you say, it's twice he's done that now and gotten away with it. I wouldn't fancy my chances a third time doing that sort of move on that curb. As Speedy Go's actually picked up a penalty from that moment, it seems. To 2 seconds. We see Stefan Carey's 22nd was actually from a jump start, so that will not count towards his actual time. But sitting in P15 after a pit stop this early on, not sure how much difference that's really going to make to his race here.
Yeah, and Cameron B had a bit of a moment in the background, as you can see. Uni as well, and having a bit of a moment coming around turn 1. But Cameron B now dropping down to P10. Sorry, P11 as Mr. Fair just get past him as well.
These guys are pushing really hard this early on in the race. WMDR Martin just picked up a penalty now as well, sitting in P4 ahead of Speedy Go. You see this train of cars here now, Cameron B, Ferret and Uni. They head down towards the hairpin.
Yeah, Ass Turbo not making as much inroads as what Speedy Go and Big Wilk has. Ass Turbo sitting in P8, but he's right behind Boris. The championship is on the line. He definitely won't be wanting to have much contact, but he's going to have a look. He's got the move made into the fast right-hander, but they're still side by side. Boris, will he claim the apex? He does. He hangs. Ass Turbo out to drive, but now Ass Turbo, can he get the cut back through this part of the track? Boris dances the car through, but Ass Turbo has a better drive. They're still side by side coming towards the faster right-hander again as they take them into the stadium section, but Ass Turbo has the faster line and goes around the outside of Boris to take the position. Ass Turbo up to P7.
Fantastic driving there by those guys. Ass Turbo did a great job of lining up that cutback to get the really fast outside line coming up that corner to get the move done. Amazing driving there by both those drivers. Ass Turbo coming out on top.
Yeah, and as they come across the line now, we got the battle for fourth. Martin defending for his life against Speedy Go and Big Wilk. These two seem to be the fastest guys on the track at the current moment in time, and even in the last race as well, they were doing some insane times, especially Big Wilk. As Speedy Go's had a bit of a moment, had a bit of a lock-up, and now Big Wilk's gone up his inside. He's going to try and hang it around the outside as they drag race down the straight, but Speedy Go has already lost out, and Big Wilk now up to P5 as in the slipstream of Martin, trying to pull away, but can Speedy Go get in the slipstream and try and make a move, or will he decide the better of it? And yeah, he does decide better of it to stay behind. But look, there's Martin off in the wilderness. He ran wide at the hairpin on the exit, and now Big Wilk is right on him again.
This is great stuff here, just joshing for position back and forth as Big Wilk closes the gap, hugely under braking there on WMDR Martin. Brings it in nicely though, keeps it safe, keeps it clean. Just one mistake's all it takes, as you saw with Speedy go around the first couple of corners, locking up into turn 2, allowing Big Wilk through. It's all it takes to lose a position here when you're these guys battling.
And we'll have a look, we'll give Ticklish a little bit of a view as well. He's out in front, he's got a 3.2 second lead. This is the best bit of luck he's had all season.
Yeah, and if the other guys...
down, only 19 to go, buddy.
If the other guys keep battling the way they are, he's got a good chance of keeping it out there, as well as Deofal and Keyboard Blondie trade places further down the field. But WMDR Martin now right on their tail after managing to pull a little bit of a gap from Big Wilk there. A little bit close on the exit, but Martin looking to get the inside as they head towards turn 2. Martin got to make sure he gets a good exit here now. That's Keyboard Blondie gone off ahead, is it? Or Deofal? Deofal's gone off. So
yeah, Deofal went off. He's
enjoying that. Sure, Martin's had a really poor exit and Big Wilk's actually got through. Big Wilk is looking to punch a hole into P2 now. From 4th to 2nd in just a couple of corners, and Martin's down to the back of this pack now after being in 3rd place. He's been sent to 5th.
Yeah, Big Wilk and Speedy Go are making tremendous strides to get through the pack. Both of them now in the podium positions. Ass Turbo will be slightly sweating, but all he has to do is to get well, if he finishes 14th, then doesn't matter what Big Wilk does. But Boris still has, if Boris wins and Ass Turbo finishes 10th, then Ass Turbo will win the championship.
Yeah, it's going to be a close one. Ass Turbo, what he needs to do is just keep it clean and keep himself up the field now. As you say, 10th or higher is all that Ass Turbo needs.
As you say that, he goes slightly wide and concedes the position. Or does he? No, he decides to get better of it to stay ahead of Keyboard Blondie. Keyboard Blondie and Deofal, they're battling it out. They are teammates, but they are not resisting the urge to battle each other.
As we see now, Big Wilk's been set free in 2nd place. Ticklish, the deltas have just disappeared on me, but I believe it's about a 4-second gap for Ticklish, or 5-second gap he's got now, as that's fluctuating quite a bit as they come into the braking zones. But Ticklish's lead, I can see that slowly coming down now towards the remainder of this race, but done a great job to pull that lead. He's losing probably about a second a lap to these guys, so expect a move in the next 11 on lap 11 or 12. You can,
yeah, Big Wilk and Speedy Go seem to be working quite well together. They don't seem to be costing each other time when they got through the field quite cleanly. But it's ticklish, even on that straight, has lost half a second to these guys.
Yeah, who needs the powered by AWS time to strike? It's going to be 3 or 4 laps, I can tell you that now.
Yeah. But it's one thing to catch, and I'm pretty sure Ticklish, he's a racer at heart, and he will be wanting to battle it out, because this is the first chance he's had all season long. He's literally had to wait the entire season length to have a battle with anyone.
Yeah, this track, it's, I wouldn't say it's easy to overtake, but it's a lot easier than previous tracks like Brands Hatch or such. The long run down towards the hairpin, especially if you get you only need a little bit of a better exit around turn 2 and turn 3. And you get the slipstream as well to compound that effect, and you can usually get the move done towards the hairpin on this track. So a bit easier than other tracks to make a move, but we'll see how much Ticklish can defend in a few laps time when Big Will gets on the tail of him.
Yeah, definitely. And we'll just have a look down through the field now as Oz Dunder and P11 and Uni go at it, but Uni goes slightly wide. Oz Dunder goes up the inside on the final corner. Has it go across the line now? Uni even slightly had a better drive through there. They're zigzagging across the start finish line. Will Uni go for a look up the inside? No, he doesn't. Oz Dunner covers it off the move, but he's on both of them was on the curb even, and they managed to gather it together. But I think that's Crab. Yeah, just getting past Uni.
Yeah, that's Crab working his way back up the field after having what seemed to be a pretty terrible start. I'm not sure what happened to him, but lap 1 he was right down the back of the field, so he's working his way back up now. P11 just trying to do the best he can for that team championship. We'll try and keep an eye on that, but it's hard enough doing maths for the main championship, let alone trying to figure out the team championship. It's a contact!
There's a huge contact with Oz Dunder, and Crab's involved in it. He just gets through. Oz Dunder and Mr. Ferret, the two teammates, come together, slight contact at the hairpin under braking, but there's never a dull moment in this championship.
Yeah, someone just pointed out there's a 41.7 was that lap time by Crab through traffic, so Crab is really pushing it right now. Obviously this lap's going to be a bit low with the incident with Oz Dunder at the hairpin, but Crab is really putting the hammer down. Everyone else, their fastest lap's currently in the 43s, and Crab in the 41s. He is he is pushing hard now.
Yeah, that time would have put him on the front row for the qualifying race, for the sprint race. That's how fast that is. That's a remarkably quick time. As again, Oz Dunder now, the same part of the track that he got past Uni again, has the same job to do. Uni's back in front, but it's a role reversal. Oz Dunder, will he make a move into turn 1? He's just too far back. They come through, not using all the road, but Uni's go slightly defensive already. Oz Dunder now, will he have a look around the outside? Uni goes back on the racing line, kind of closes the door on Oz Dunder. Oz Dunder taking a tighter line through turn 2 to get a better run up the straight. He's in the slipstream. Surely he'll be close enough to make a move into the hairpin. By the time they get there, it's a hell of a straight.
I'm not convinced it's going to be enough. We'll have to see now. Is Uni staying on the racing line? He doesn't feel like he's under threat and has to go offline, so Uni there just keeps his position for now, staying in P10 ahead of Oz Dunder.
Yeah, and Ass Turbo has made his way up to P4 as Martin has dropped to P5. The championship leader, this is just what he wants. No dramas. Keeping out of all the action, just pretty much a Sunday stroll on a nice Wednesday evening.
Yeah, as I say, just needs to keep it clean. As long as he stays in the top 10, then that championship is his for sure. Even then, Boris sitting in P8, who would have to win it for us Turbo to lose from there. So as long as he can keep it together, he's got this claim now today.
And Darefield and Martin battling it out, coming around the turn 1 as Martin tries to get the cut back, and the drag race down to turn 2. Derfell got the position on Martin coming into the corner at turn 1, but now Martin's got the position back at turn 2, but they're still side by side. Martin will have the better drive coming up the straight.
Yeah, Martin's previous lap 46.2, so something must have happened to him the previous lap to drop down into these guys, but he's got a bad run down the straight, so we'll see what happens there. I think Derfell may have got the move done, but Martin's very, very defensive on the inside here now. Derfell looking to make the move on the outside, Keyboard Blondie looking to follow his teammate through. Martin with a bit squirrely on the exit. We'll see if Derfell can get the move done here, still just a 10th behind. Again, looking to go on the outside and see what he can do into this. Martin having to go defensive on the inside line here to claim that apex, and he's going to run wide and let Derfell through on the inside. Is Keyboard Blondie able to do the same? No, he's not. Martin just losing the one position there to Derfell, down to 6th place.
Yeah, just losing out. I've been a bit too defensive, and that cost him by missing the apex. But we'll jump to the battle for the lead. We got Big Wilkos finally caught up to Ticklish with Speedy Go in pursuit as well. Ticklish, it's your time to shine, buddy. You've waited all season. Don't let us down.
As predicted, it will be lap 11 where these guys catch up with Ticklish, putting in about 1.5 seconds a lap there it was in that previous lap into Ticklish's lead. So it's only a matter of time before Ticklish is going to have to start driving in his mirrors and going a bit more defensively than he's managed to do this first stint of the race, where he's managed to have a fantastic start to pull the gap, but now the championship leaders have caught up to him. He's got some work to do to hold on to any sort of position now.
Yeah, the gap is sitting at about half a second for about a full lap now, so I think Ticklish has them just in check, but he goes slightly wide there as Big Wilk has a bit of a moment coming out of the hairpin, but he for some reason he actually gained him time, and he's going to have a look on Ticklish. Ticklish doesn't decide to defend too much, and he leaves a space, and they both get through. Ticklish not really defending that move. He drops to P3. I guess he just decided he wants to have a clean race for once. Yeah,
I think he knows he's not going to be able to defend for 12 laps against these guys, so he just safer option, let them by, don't lose any time to them, and just anything, try and stick with them if he can, and just keep it clean and get his best result of the season.
Yeah, if he can hang on for another 13 laps, he could get a podium out of this, or depending on how frisky Ass Turbo is, he will be dropped down to P4.
Yeah, previous best by Ticklish was an 8th at Red Bull Ring in the sprint race, so he managed to crab very sideways there in the final few corners. But yeah, if Ticklish holds on, I can see him holding on to top 4. Derfell is another 7 seconds, 8 seconds or so behind Ass Turbo, so Ticklish has a great chance of finishing top 4 here.
Yeah. We'll have a look at Phoenix coming around the final corner, who's been in this battle with Uni. As Uni in the background spins on the final corner, he holds the brakes to make sure that nobody coming around is collected, like what the huge crash that happened in the sprint race with Stefan Carey and Phoenix. But Uni drops out of that battle with Cameron and Phoenix.
Yeah, bad luck there, as we see even Stefan Carey just behind him trying to chase down Uni after that incident, but a bit far behind at the moment. But we go to Oz Dunder now, sitting in P11. Got Mr. Ferret just ahead of him, Phoenix just behind him. Head down towards the hairpin. Still a few tenths gap, not nowhere close enough for anyone to make any moves here, but as they close down, Constantino effect as they head towards the braking zone of the hairpin makes it look a lot closer than it really is. Osdunder very late on the brakes there, having to lock up to avoid the collision with Mr. Ferret. Mr. Ferret, I think, saw that in his mirrors and bit of a wide line there by Ferret, pushes Ozdunder out wide. Ozdunder, of course, he's from Australia, so ping issues may be playing a part in this battle right now. But they're doing their best, trying to keep it as clean as they can, trying to avoid the contact where they can. So far, doing a great job of it as Ozdunder continues his quest to hunt down Mr. Ferret and claim that top 10 position. Just over the halfway point now, starting lap 13 of 24. Big Wilk has the lead. Asturbo's also made his way around Ticklish. I'm not sure if JP has disconnected or not, but the cameras have not moved and he has not spoke for a while, so I'm not sure if he's disappeared. Hopefully he'll be back to take over camera controls shortly. But for now we're going to watch this battle for Ozdunder and Phoenix and Mr. Ferret. Ozdunder's right on the tail of Mr. Ferret now, heading into the hairpin. Ozdunder heads towards the inside. He's going to get him in the braking, I believe he is. Takes the inside line there, parks it on the apex, and Mr. Ferret can't really respond to it and gets the move done. Mr. Ferret a bit sideways on the exit. Yeah, Ozdunder getting it done there. We saw him putting in some real quick lap times in the sprint race, so although it's a 10-second gap to Keyboard Blondie, definitely has the pace to bring that down and battle for that position towards the end of this race. Don't believe there's anything I can do to take over any form of controls here. It's all on JP's side, and I think he's now back. JP is back with us.
I'll be back in a second. Sorry about the technical difficulties.
No problem, it's actually been quite good. Ozdunder just got the move done on Mr. Ferret, so wasn't the end of the world to watch that happen. Asturbo has made his way past Ticklish for P3. Ticklish with a 10-second advantage over Deofile now, so Ticklish will be hoping to bring... as T-Wall Blonde's actually in the pits, so Ozdunder is going to get that promotion to P9 that he was looking for without having to make that run up to Keyboard as... what was that behind? I believe it's a back marker, probably Stefan Carey. No, it's the other side of the track. WRC Animal, I believe then.
It was, yeah. Yeah, sorry about the technical difficulties there, but we're back at it.
Our camera crew have decided not to go on strike and they have returned.
Yeah, I gave them tea and pastries and it's all good.
The battle for first place is still actually hotting up here. We've got Big Wilk and Speedy Go still going at it. Yeah. They've worked their way up the field together and now they're both in P1 and 2 and just battling amongst themselves. Just half a second separating the pair after 14 laps, 10 to go.
Yeah, Big Wilk, we've known him to been able to put in some fast laps and fast performances. Last week at the Brands Hatch, he was doing ridiculously great. He was as I say that, him and Speedy Go were side by side when it's turn 2 and Speedy Go takes the lead.
Yeah, I wonder how much Big Wilk is looking at the time penalty that Speedy Go has. How much is that time penalty? It is 2 seconds, so I'm sure Big Wilk is looking at that, just thinking if I keep it within 2 seconds now, it's going to be a good finish for him. Obviously Big Wilk trying to claim that P2 of the championship from Boris. There's only 5 points separating Boris and Big Wilk after race 1. So and so far Big Wilk's got that in spades ahead of Boris, who's sitting in P7 at the moment. So a great result here for Big Wilk, and Asturbo sitting in P3. That's a championship winning position for him right now. He'd need to drop out of the top 10 to lose any hope of the championship.
Yeah, he would need to drop well out of the top 10. I think he would need to almost be in the pits for a lap to not take the championship, because his nearest contender is Boris and he's only P7 at the moment.
Yeah, they need to finish 14th, which is behind Stefan Carey, who's already pitted this lap, so that is the distance he would have to drop, nearly 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, as Turbo would have to drop to lose his championship here now. But anything can happen. We won't try and commentators curse him as we have other drivers previously this league. He's doing a fantastic job there in P3. Speedy Go leading this race, actually pulling a gap on Big Wilk, so the pace is there for Speedy Go. He could win this race even with that time penalty.
Big Wilk's last lap was a 44.4, which definitely wasn't on the same speed as Speedy Go. A full second and a half faster Speedy Go last lap.
Yes, we have Yogurt just dropping in the chat, not racing with us tonight, but found some time to just drop in and watch this really close action on track, which I guess he usually misses when he's racing, so he gets to see it in the flesh now as we see this battle for P1 within a second of each other. Big Wilk and Speedy Go, some fantastic racing by these guys. If we look further down the field, we've got Deofal and Crab.
This is the battle that Yogurt's involved is interested in. He wants to see if Crab can hold off the prancing horses of Celtic Lamb Romance.
He's ahead of both of them right now, so
yeah.
And I don't think they're going to pick enough points up combined with Stefan Carey down in 13th.
As long as he doesn't drop, as long as Celtic Lamb Romance doesn't score more than 12 points, or sorry, 11 points than Crab, then he's done the job that he's been paid to do, and he will have grabbed the team's championship with him and Yogurt.
Yep, we'll obviously do the maths at the end. I'll have to, as Andrex pointed out, I'll have to take my socks off, start counting my toes, figuring out how many points they've gained and lost, and hopefully get it right this time. But Crab now still eyeing up Deofal. He's putting some real fast laps, 43.1. With As Turbo currently fast on track at 42.9, so not too far off the fastest guy's lap at the moment. Crab sitting behind Deofal, who was 8/10ths down that previous lap, so it's only a matter of time. Crab needs to find the run and get the move done here on Deofal and start working his way up to Ticklish, which with about 7 laps to go, and he's got about 8 seconds or so, 9 seconds to gain, so he's going to find over a second a lap. Crab's going to need to find over Ticklish once he's got the move done, which he has. Deofal going defensive, but it's not enough.
Very defensive, and Crab having to overcorrect the car there and into the slide, but managing to gather together and get the position. He's up to P5, and now the Ticklish is in the crosshairs of Crab.
Yeah, it's current pace as well. That is definitely in on the cards here for Crab to get that position from Ticklish and finish 4th here. He's currently lapping over a second a lap faster, which is what he needs to do. So it's going to come down to the wire here for Ticklish, whether he can hold on to that P4 from Crab. We go to WMDR Martin now with the time penalty, but trying to chase down Boris and claim that position there for P7. Just a second behind him at the moment, getting on the curbs, just real tough to get it off that one. It kind of glues you to the outside as you're stuck on there.
Yeah, and I do believe that the leaders now of Speedy Go and Big Wilk are exchanging fastest laps. Big Wilk have took about 7/10ths last lap into Speedy Go, but now Speedy Go has returned the favour and put 2 seconds, pulled 2/10ths even on Big Wilk.
Yeah, it seems that Big Wilk struggles when the air starts to get a bit dirty, but he is gaining a lot of time now, but they're in the braking zone for the hairpin. Yep, we'll see how it goes, but every time Big Wilk gets within half a second or so, he just loses it again to Speedy Go and drops out of contention again. So obviously with these being aero dominant cars, that dirty air does play a part here in this sim, and it can definitely affect the way you drive and affect the lap times you can actually put out when you lose aero behind the car ahead.
Yeah, but I do believe if we're looking at Crab again, he must have made a mistake somewhere because he's back behind Deofal. So Crab has again dropped down to P6.
He has indeed, so a lot more work for him to do. Ticklish Picklewicker will be pretty happy to see that delta time expand back to 10 seconds again. As Crab nearly losing it there as he entered the last sector, but holds it together. But, if we look at the lap times, As Turbo matching close enough to Speedy Go. Big Wilk 1.5 behind again now, as we say, drops back again. Was half a second, now it's over a second, so it keeps fluctuating.
Do believe Big Wilk last lap had a time penalty.
And that is going to be huge, because that is now a second that Big Wilk needs to be in, and he is, as we say, fluctuating in and out of that second gap. So potential here for Speedy Go to claim the win here in the final race of the season. After not being able to make it to a lot of these races, he's come and proved that he can battle with these guys, and he is a contender when he can actually make it to the races. So yeah, interesting to see now how Big Wilk handles this with his time penalty.
Well, I'm pretty sure we'll be looking at now As Turbo, unless something happens. As Turbo has the championship, so I don't see the point in having that many heroics from Big Wilk's side. But he'll be happy with how this final two races has turned out. He's a hell of a racer, getting a win and possibly a second place. But there's still 5 laps remaining, and As Turbo is still there. But as we're watching Martin now coming through the second sector, sitting in P8, and we'll just jump to Crab in P6, as the gap to Darefile again is under a second now.
Yeah, Crab usually seems like the faster driver on a hot lap, but seems to have these moments where he just loses a load of time to just having one either sideways or just a little moment where he just loses it and just drops a few seconds of time. So you can keep it together, you can still get this position back before the end of the race, as we've got 4 laps remaining here at Hockenheim for the final race of the season. Speedy Go, our current race leader, being chased down by Big Wilk, and As Turbo, our provisional championship winner if results stay as they are. Just got to keep it together.
As Turbo now closing the gap to Big Wilk. He doesn't even need to pass him. He can just stay here and get that P2 out of it.
Yeah, there's potential for him to even be bumped up to P1 if he can get within 2 seconds of Speedy Go while being 1 second behind Big Wilk too. So I'm sure he's thinking more long term here though. He's got to be thinking of the championship, because one incident in the wall and that could easily drop him out of the points and out of contention, as we have someone off there, I believe.
I do believe that's Keyboard Blondie.
Yeah, looks to be Keyboard Blondie. Unfortunate for them. They were having a great race early on with their teammate Deafile. They were up in 7th or 6th place with Deafile, but had to pit for unknown reason, and they're down in 13th now and seems to be struggling. But again, this battle for the lead.
As we just see that, sorry to cut across you, but As Turbo, that last lap was the fastest lap of the race. Or no, it couldn't have been.
It's the fastest lap of, it's just their last lap on those things.
His
so
fastest lap,
yeah. So
he is still pushing. I think he does want this, these podiums, sorry, this race win even. From Big Wilk and Speedy Go, but Speedy Go is not letting these guys catch them.
Yeah, I'm sure Speedy Go, he's going to want to keep on pushing with that time penalty he has. He needs to pull a 2-second gap to As Turbo and a 1-second gap to Big Wilk, so he's not going to be letting up, as we've got 3 laps remaining here. He's going to keep on pushing and try and pull that gap so we can get the win. But as it stands, As Turbo is actually going to be our race winner, if he can keep the gap the way it is.
Yeah, it could literally come down to having a good final corner exit speed.
Yeah, it's going to be those few tenths that you get out of those last corners to keep it in contention. It's going to be very close at the line. We'll have to just wait and see which way it falls.
And we'll have a look at Crab as he's right on Darefile again. We'll have a look up the inside. He has a look up the inside. He's claimed the apex. Darefile leaving the space. As Crab does have a moment now, Darefile slips him behind, and Crab gets the position up to P5. But he's got 3 laps to try and catch Ticklish, and that's 9 seconds up the road. Sorry, 8 seconds up the road. And I just don't think, as good as Crab is at hot lapping, I just don't think that that's quite possible.
Yeah, it's a big ask here from Crab, but hopefully he'll tone it down a bit now that he's got himself to P5 and just keep it there, because that's looks like it's the best he's going to be able to get out of this race.
You can tell he's still pushing though. He's still getting the rear of that car out. But we'll jump back to the top 3, the closest 3 on the track, as Big Wilk has caught Speedy Go. The gap has gone down to 0.2 of a second. Well, Big Wilk's having a look. He's making Speedy Go leave space. Speedy Go's gone wide. Big Wilk regains the lead of the race.
Fantastic stuff there. Big Wilk getting into lead, so that's going to put some pressure on Asturbo now if he wants to win. He's going to have to find a way past Speedy Go to get within a second of Big Wilk to win on penalties at least. But if these guys keep on battling the way they are, Asturbo can close that gap. He's currently a second behind Speedy Go as it stands, but it's not over yet. Far from over yet, with 2 laps remaining in this race.
Yeah, coming through here, the gap will slightly extend because it's the slower corners, so they will be a bit more careful. But Asturbo, this is not what you would want to see if you want to go for the win. But I'm sure he's just thinking about the championship at this stage. But interestingly enough, a little fact about Asturbo in this championship: he has never won a race. It's been consistency has been absolutely key for Asturbo in this championship. And it's put him in the position now with with only 1 lap remaining, or 2 laps remaining, to take the championship.
Yeah, I'm sure he'd love to finish his championship with a win under his belt, but as you say, he's got 4 second places and 3 third places to his name, so that's what's got him to the lead spot so far in this championship. Granted, most of those second places were to either Yogurt or Strongest Avenger, who have dropped out of a few races this season and spoilt their chances of championship hope, but you can't take anything away from him. He has been consistently quick as he looks to make a move now on Speedy Go. He's ahead of him in the braking zone, looking to go around the outside of the hairpin. Can he make this move stick? Speedy Go nudged him up.
There's a bit of contact.
There is a bit, but it seems fine to go. I think Asturbo's got the move done there. Speedy Go coming out worse.
Still side by side, and this is just what Big Wilk will be wanting to see in his mirrors. The 2 guys from P2, P3 of Asturbo and Speedy Go battling it out as Big Wilk can set some faster sectors to try and get that 1 second gap to Asturbo sitting in P3. This is just what Big Wilk will be wanting to see.
Yeah, Big Wilk managed to pull over a second gap now to Speedy Go. It's fantastic stuff. So even if Asturbo does get the move done, there's a lot of work to do to catch up with Big Wilk to get within that penalty difference. Just a quick check on the penalties in case they've added any more. No, it still looks to be 1 for Big Wilk and 2 for Speedy Go. Nothing added to those guys.
Yeah, it's as you were. There's 1 lap remains. Big Wilk, can he keep going and pull out another fantastic win and lead pretty much, well, not every lap, but a lot of the laps of the feature race? He had a masterclass in the sprint race. He had a slight moment to let Speedy go through, and now Asturbo will have a better drive. As he gets a better drive out of the second turn, he's going to be right in the slipstream of Speedy Go. Speedy Go already going quite defensive, as he knows this is basically the exact same move as what happened in the last lap. Speedy Go going really defensive. Asturbo is in the lead now, but he's going to have to go around the long way. Speedy Go taking the inside lane. Asturbo getting a better drive, and he gets the position. Asturbo up to P2, but he still has to have a hell of a last couple of corners to gain 6/10 on Big Wilk.
Yeah, great move there by Asturbo. Had him set up
And
out.
he goes deep. Asturbo's gone deep, and Speedy Go's got back past him again.
I spoke too soon. The commentators cursed there for As Turbo in the final lap of the race. Just about to praise him for a fantastic move, which it still was a great move that was set up a couple of corners before, coming down to the hairpin. But he may still pick up second place here with the penalties the way it stands. So not all lost for As Turbo, but Big Wilk here ready to come over the line. Just 2 corners remaining to win the final race of this championship. Your race winner for the feature race is Big Wilk. Great drive there by these top 3 drivers. Speedy Go will come over the line in second, but will be demoted to third on time penalties. We do have a battle for 5th place though, but Ticklish is going to claim 4th. Crab does seem to have the position here on Deofile still. So I think Deofile may have actually had an incident because it was within just a few tenths. But Crab now finishing in 5th. Great finish by him.
Yeah, and there's Deerfeld finishing P6, and we've got Boris coming around the last couple of corners now. Unfortunate for him, but I guess Hockenheim isn't the track for him. If he had it done slightly better, maybe we could have a better campaign together to try and take the championship to As Turbo. But unfortunately, it's just not been his day. WMDR Martin, unfortunate for him, but Crab has done enough to take the team's championship for him and Yogurt. Martin comes across in P8. He will be disappointed because his teammate finishing down in P14 as he's very frustrated, taking out the braking markers for the first corner. Oz Dunder coming around the last corner now. It's been a good campaign for this man. He's finishing P9. He's impressed me all season long, I have to say, as well as this man, Phoenix, and finishing P10. He only started last week, and he's already in the top 10. And there's Cameron B taking a P11. So yeah, there's your race rundown. Big Wilk again taking the one at Hockenheim. He must absolutely love it here. Then As Turbo, who finished 3rd on track, but 2nd because of time penalties. And then he also, As Turbo, your championship winner of Season 1 Formula C AOR champion. And then we have in P3, we got Speedy Go and Ticklish Picklewickle, who started on pole, managed to hold on and to take P4. And then Crab, who actually had a pit stop during this race on the first lap, after must have had a bit of contact, grabbed P5 out of it. And then Darefal holding on to P6. Boris taking up P7. Martin in P8. Oz Dunder in P9. And Phoenix rounding out the top 10. And then in P11, we've got Cameron B. And then P12, we've got Keyboard Blondie, who he was doing really well earlier on in the race, battling it out with Darefile. But it must have just had a bit of a mistake, and then had a pit stop, and then dropping down through the field. And then in P13 we got Uni, and one of our coordinators, Mr. Stefan Carey, has had an absolute miserable time here at Hockenheim. He's been in the pits for both races and finished on the back row for the both races. And then last but not least, we got 15th place WRC Animal. What a fantastic race.
It was indeed a great way to finish the season, with that battle for first place coming down to the wire between the 3 guys. Some great racing at the end there, and a fantastic way to finish the season. Thoroughly enjoyed every moment of this. Every race has been fantastic by these guys. I assume we're going to have some interviews soon. Nobody's lined up yet, but so great job by As Turbo to take the championship. Big Wilk coming in 2nd, and Boris rounds out our top 3 of this championship.
Yeah, definitely. Just to so I asked you this pretty much every race, Kiki, but who's your driver of that race?
I'm going to go for a bit of a curveball and say that Crab, to be able to start in the pits, or basically start with a pit stop, And even though he had a few mistakes in there, he managed to make his way back up to top end of the field. So Crab with a fantastic run there to the end to take P5. Can't fault any of that by him.
I'm going to go a slightly different route. I'm going to go with Ticklish Pickle Wickle. Even though he did start on pole, he showed that he actually had the pace to be up there with the in the top 5. And it just goes to prove that all the incidents that he had during the season really was just bad luck. And he had the pace to be there.
Yeah, definitely. It's a great contender for the spots. Can't fault anything he did. Let's see if we got any interviews now, and we do have a few people. I think first of all, I think we'll bring in our race winner, Mr. Big Wilk, taking the final race win there of the season. A fantastic drive by yourself.
Thanks. Yeah, I wish I could have done it more often, eh?
Yeah, there's some great stuff there. It's, how did it feel coming over the line there with the battle going right the way to the wire with those guys?
Yeah, well, in the second race, I let Speedy go because he had 2-second penalty. I had none, and I was convinced I could stay behind him. I was a bit fearful of him accidentally tagging me because he was braking very deep. So I thought, I'll just sit behind him. And then I got my first penalty of the entire season, and yeah, with As Turbo closing to within a second, I knew I had to overtake Speedy if I was going to win, and hope that he held As Turbo back. So it worked out.
Yeah, it's fantastic racing. I didn't realize that you were such a Hockenheim expert.
I've always gone well at Hockenheim, and yeah, I did a bit of practice before and set a decent time. So I think I may have been benefited by a couple of the usuals not being around, but hey, I'm happy to pick up those pieces.
I don't think you should take yourself or put yourself down for some of the aliens not being there. You definitely showed that you had the pace to be on the top step today. But yeah, I have to say, when you were racing with Speedy Go, and then you saw him battling with As Turbo in the last couple of corners, how big was the smile on your face when you seen that the gap to As Turbo was more than a second, so that you could actually take the win?
Oh yeah, as soon as I saw that Speedy was holding him back, maybe 2 or 3 laps from the end, I was pretty amped for it. I had some damage, so I was struggling with pace.
Oh, we didn't actually know that, but were you carrying that all race, or?
Yeah, on one of the first laps, I ironically tagged Speedy when we were passing a bunch of cars in a slow corner, so front wing wasn't great.
Yeah, we followed that there. That you guys were, that you were like almost it was if you sort of working together to get your way through the pack, because you showed in the first in the sprint race that you were pretty much on the same pace, and because you were first and second. So yeah,
he hasn't always turned up, but he is my teammate. So yeah, 4 podium spots out of 6 isn't bad for the team.
Yeah, it's fantastic stuff. If there's another season, how do you think you would rate your chances for the championship? Because you've shown that you've got the pace. Surely you would fancy your chances of taking the season 2 crown.
Yeah, I like to think that today showed the racecrafts had a bit of a tune-up, so maybe I wouldn't suffer so much in the reverse grids. I'd have a go.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, so you've done fantastic, I have to say, all season long. What was your standout race?
Well, the double win means it was this one, really. Pole, 2 wins. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
I'm
that was
happy,
a silly question.
Ruapuna was good the first race. I think I got podium, maybe 2 in that, and that was the first race, so it was a good start, but this was a good finish.
Yeah, for sure. Well, congratulations on the double win, and I would say we'll see you next week, but unfortunately we won't until further notice. But it's been great commentating on your races.
Yeah, thanks, and love the coverage. Family have watched it; it's awesome, and I'm sure they'll enjoy watching this one.
That's all right. Thank you very much.
All right.
We've enjoyed commentating for sure.
See you guys next time.
All right, bye.
Yes.
Okay, so our help you bring in the next guy now. Where is it? So, assume let's bring in our championship winner and second place there in that final race. Did not win a race all season, but managed to claim the championship. Is quite the achievement there by As Turbo.
Yes, thank you. I'm very happy for the championship, and in the last race I have choices of winning, but I was very careful about the races because I know that any incident could cost me the championship. But in the last race I was close to the leaders. They have penalties, but then Big Week overtake Speedy, and the penalties was reversed from my point of view. So I tried to pass. First time I was penalized for going out of the track, and the second one was in the last lap, and I tried to recover half a second in the stadium section, but it was impossible.
Yeah. Yeah. So all season long, although you didn't get to take the top step, but you got the championship wrapped up. What was your standout race for yourself?
Sorry?
What was your best race all season for you, personally?
Probably this one was the race I have more pace, but I have to be careful for the championship, and I could push to the limit. There are when is yogurt in the track, obviously he is the faster, and there is nothing to do. Monza was other track I was very fast, but I have one incident, and I lose positions in the second race. But overall, all the season I has a good pace, not as good as yogurt, but to be usually in the podium positions.
Yeah, it's I have to say it's been a pleasure to watch you race the last 6 weeks. I could only wish that me and Kiki could be as talented as you, but unfortunately not. But yeah, so ladies and gentlemen, your AOR Season 1 Formula C champion, As Turbo.
Thank you.
Congratulations,
hope
mate.
see you in other competitions, probably Project Cars 2 again.
Yeah, we may jump back in the driving seat for the next one. We'll see what happens, and it will be great to race against you guys again in future. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, that was your championship winner, As Turbo. We have a few more guys now looking for some interviews, so we'll bring in Ticklish Pickle Wickle, who had a fantastic final race of the season. It's been great to see that actually managed to have a race that he got together and not be destroyed, and showed some serious pace in that final race to take fourth. How was that for you in your final race? Got to be pleased with that result.
Can I just say I would love a new Ice Age at this point, just to get a little bit of cool air, because I am. It is so hot. I believe like all over Europe. We were talking about it before the race. Everyone was just sweating buckets in that race. It was not very, including myself. So, but no, I mean like, yeah, I mean, last race of the season, just absolute best result of the season as well. So I'm very happy with that. It's a bit of a. I'm a bit disputed with myself if I should be disappointed or happy with my first race, because I did end up losing my front wing in lap 1 of the first race, which meant I had to go into repairing it in the pits. But that also, affected that I then finished in 10th, which put me in pole for the second race. So I believe if I hadn't finished 10th, and if I hadn't lost my front wing in race 1, I would never have finished in 4th place for race 2. So I think all in all, it came together nicely, but it's a bit of a bittersweet feeling about race 1. But I mean, like, race 2 just completely overshadows race 1 for me. Yeah, it was a great race, and I did some really consistent times, and I think I really deserved that P4 in the end, especially after having such a tough season.
Yeah, I did say that during the season during the race that that P4 proves that you're not like that you're not meant to be. That you're a good fast guy. You're not at the back of the grid, which unfortunately you were for most of the season. But yeah, in the feature race when you were leading the race for the first couple of laps and you pulled the gap, did you have any like inkling of that you could potentially hold on to win the race, or did you feel it in your gut that the Big Wilk and Ass Turbo and Speedy Go were going to catch you, or how did you feel it then at that moment in time?
To be honest, like it was not something that I was like worrying myself too much about. I was kind of just focusing on the task at hand, which was set fast and consistent times, and I managed to do that. And I mean, I didn't really fight the top guys too hard. I didn't let them by as well, but once they were kind of beside me, I wasn't really like gonna fight it too hard. And I didn't, because I mean it would both slow me down and them down. So I was kind of just trying to maximize my my average speed, I guess, throughout the whole race and set some pretty consistent times. And I actually think probably all of my times were within a second of each other, and most of them were within half a second. So I was setting some really consistent times, and that was pretty much my my goal. And I mean, like, I think because I mean I certainly didn't have the raw pace as some of the guys who actually finished behind me, but because I was that much more consistent and setting consistent times, and obviously I also had the benefit of not battling anyone, not being in the dirty air as well. But that meant that I could finish ahead of these guys despite not having the raw pace. So yeah, I think that's kind of what I where I shine as a driver, is being consistent and setting some really consistent times all throughout the race. And I was very happy that I was finally able to show that tonight, despite the hard season I've had.
Yeah, for sure. Like you could tell. We're not sure actually what happened Crab in the feature race on the first lap. He had to pit, but then we did like catch him. Like he would catch up to the mid pack, and then he would drop back down a bit, and then he would come back up again. His laps, he kept fluctuating because he'd be making slight mistakes. But you definitely don't suffer from that. So it's definitely what do you call it? A tick in the correct box, if you want to say that, that you have over Crab, say. But yeah, it's you've definitely had an eventful season. I've been asking this to all the drivers, but I suppose I'll ask you, even though I know you're going to say race 2, but what's been your highlight of the season for you personally?
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously yes. But race 2, I mean, can't really dispute it. It was my best result of the season. And it's kind of I don't know. I've really not been lucky this season, so unfortunately I can't really say I've had many highlights in this season. It's been a lot of especially in race 2. It seems to always go wrong in race 2. Not this time though. That was very good in race 2. But usually in race 2 I would get damaged and then having to pit, and then being several laps behind and just picking up the few points that was left for me. So I hope like the next season we do, in whatever car we choose to do and whatever class we choose to do, that I can definitely put on a better show than I have this season. But I think, yeah, of course, this will probably be my highlight, this very last race of the season. And I think this particular race was probably the only race where I could really like show what I could do. The rest of them has just been kind of harmed by having damage and then having to pit for it as well. So yeah, undisputed last race of the season was definitely my highlight.
Yeah, definitely. Well, it's been eventful, shall we say, following you all season long, and yeah, it's been great to interview you again. And I would say we see you next week, but unfortunately, this is the end of the season. So I guess we'll have to talk to you again some other time. But thanks for the footage, shall we say, and the great racing.
You're very welcome, and also thank you to you guys for putting on a good show.
Sorry, we try our best. I just watch the racing and scream, and then Kiki does all the back work, all the background stuff. I just get too excited.
Yeah, it was great to see you in that last race, Ticklish, to show us what you can really do, and hopefully the next season we can see you doing that every race. So congratulations on your 4th, and we'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you guys.
Alright, up next, let's bring in let's bring them in as a pair. Let's bring in the Celtic Lambromance pair. Not the finish of the season that they really wanted, but with Stefan Carey having a 16th and a 14th, I believe, and WMDR Martin picking up a 4th and an 8th in those races. Not quite getting the team championships victory over Broken Wheel Racing, but a valiant effort nonetheless.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, and
on Carrie's car, a little bit more than just the wheels broke this time.
yeah, I just want to let Carrie know that Carrie, we've seen it all.
Oh no, not again.
We've seen everything.
Oh, it was horrifying. I was just sitting there, first one, second one, then I was on the roof, then I was humping or lumping back to the pits. It was.
Then you span again and almost hit the wall.
Yes.
Was eventful.
Dang, you really caught everything.
I got everything, yeah. Then the second race, turned around, I hit the cars that spun. Yeah. That was fun.
But at least it was good for the viewers.
It was. I hope so.
Yeah. Me and Kiki had a great I'm not going to say laugh at your expense, but it was definitely worth the watch.
Internal chuckling as you sat there like a sitting duck on the exit of the corner, just get destroyed twice. But it was unfortunate. But going back over the whole season, out of those races, obviously JP's been asking this to everyone else as well. What were your highlights? We'll start with you, Carrie. What was your highlight race of the season?
Oh, let me think a second.
Give Martin time to think now, so I'm sure it's going to be that win at Red Bull Ring, but we'll wait and see.
Maybe. I think... I have no idea, actually. I think mine was actually Ruapuna. Very first race, because I just like that track and it's really fun. And I had pretty much the same results every time, in case I didn't spin. Yeah, I'd say Ruapuna.
Nice.
A bit unfortunate I got killed myself in my home Grand Prix, but...
Yeah, it is unfortunate, but yeah, as you say, sometimes it happens, doesn't it? So you got to take those losses and hopefully better luck in other ones. But Martin, same to you. I assume it's going to be that win at Red Bull Ring with the perfect strategy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it really came very unexpected because up until that point in the season and pretty much throughout the rest of the season, I was either getting taken out, crashing on my own, or just having a very mediocre race. So the win was very unexpected.
Yeah, but a valiant effort by you guys this whole season. It was fantastic to watch you and well, kind of support you as fellow Celtic Bromance drivers. So it was great to see you on the track and representing. So hope to see you next time if there's a future Project Cars 2 league.
Yeah, and I just want to say congratulations picking up P2 in the constructors, which is it's been a great achievement.
Thank you, thank you.
Appreciate it.
You have done us proud.
I hope so.
So next up we will grab let's get Crab in here. So Crab
Hello.
getting a unfortunate race 1, and I believe race 2 you pitted early on and still managed to make your way back up to P5.
Yeah, yep. First race I was taken out by whoever it was. I was sandwiched in between, and second race on formation lap I touched Anima and got some damage, so I had to pit. But still, a great race.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it was-
great way to put it back and get yourself a top 10 finish in the championship, and obviously claim that constructors championship for you and Yogurt. You fought off those Celtic Lambromance drivers to get that win.
Actually, boys, I have really bad news for you. Did you pay attention to standings and Speedies and Big Wilk's positions?
Oh, have
They
they
got-
managed to win on their team? That may be something that we've missed.
Yes, you
yes,
did.
They would have.
They got, in total in these 2 races, they got 188 points.
Oh,
That
wow.
puts them up to 498. And I only got, in the end, for me and Yogurts is 491 points. So they take it by 7 points in the end.
That is something we did not consider, that there would be a third contender for this championship, and I've just realised that what the viewers are seeing on the championship right now is completely incorrect. It's got some people driving for the wrong team, so I'll get that updated quickly for you now. Yeah, congratulations to those guys. I'm sorry that to bring that on you, but we honestly thought it was just between you and the Lambromance drivers.
Well, both of them had really great races, so whatever.
Well, I guess congratulations for picking up P2 then.
Yeah. If only I hadn't fucked up that first race, I could have secured it. But shit happens, you know. So.
Does indeed, but you had a great race anyway yourself, that race 2, to bring it back to P5. Really impressed by your drive there to get yourself into that position. It mustn't have been easy from the back and after a pit stop to get there, so congratulations.
Thank you. And I would like to thank everyone that hosted this series, Ticklish and Steven and everyone else who was involved there. And I hope we get something like that in the future as well.
Yeah, for sure. They've done a fantastic job of hosting this. It's been fantastic to watch you guys.
Yeah. Hopefully Project Cars 2 don't die that soon, so.
Yeah,
I'm sure we can get a couple more leagues out of it just yet.
Yeah. Thank you, boys. Anyway, I'm off to bed, about to cry in my pillow.
No, but it was such
Yeah.
a good season, Crab. You did outstandingly well.
Well, if only I didn't, like last race, if I didn't kiss the wall, it would be completely different as well. On second race when I didn't finish, so. Basically, Yogurts tried to carry us, but I let him down, so.
I'm sure he'll be proud of you. I don't think. I mean,
Yogurt sometimes can get really angry, so. You know.
no, not Yogurt. We all know Yogurt. He's a good guy. He's a good boy. But yeah, it's been fun watching you, Crab. I have to say you've been very eventful during the season.
Yep.
And we until next time.
Yep. Bye, boys. Thank you.
Bye.
Okay, so next up, a couple more to go here. We'll bring in our double podium finisher in these last 2 races. Been away for most of the season, but managed to make it for Hockenheim and pick up a 2nd and a 3rd. It's Speedy Go. Good couple of races for you there.
Aloha from Croatia, yeah. Thank you.
So, did you expect that sort of race in race 2 to come down to you three about 2 seconds apart over the line?
Me neither. I practiced 1 hour maybe. See, because it's soaking wet. It's so hot in here. It's 35 degrees, about 84% humidity. So I'm really sweating. Yeah.
I think a lot of the drivers were complaining about how the weather was affecting them. I think you all need to move to Ireland, where I don't have that problem.
Yeah, Ireland or Welsh. Yeah, yeah. Uh, to one island. Yeah, I don't care. I will come someday. Yeah.
But yeah, you tonight you drove outstandingly well. You and when you were in the feature race, you and Big Wilk really showed how much of a class act that you are, being able to cut through the field without causing much harm to other drivers. You know, you didn't really pick up any damage, and you worked together to get to the front, and then be able to battle it out cleanly for the swapping positions, swapping for the lead. Surely you're happy with them races tonight.
Yeah, basically, my biggest ambition was to keep an eye on him and be a rear gunner to him. You know.
Yeah, you definitely did that in the, especially in the last two laps when you were fending off Ass Turbo, because I'm sure you realised that he needed the 1 second gap to Ass Turbo, and
Yeah, and I had a 2 seconds. Big Wilk, my teammate, got 1 second time penalty. I think.
Yeah, and you definitely were one of the best rear runners I've ever seen, being able to hold off Ass Turbo to ensure that your teammate got the win, which is an outstanding job.
Yeah,
and,
thank you.
Yeah, and as well, you over the final 2 races, you also managed to get the team championships.
Wow.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I'm trying to do the math now. There's going to be a couple of points in it. I don't want to try and call it as commentators and do our quick maths, because so far tonight it's been atrocious. But my quick maths says that Yogurt and Crab won it by just 2 points, but I could be wrong.
Wow. I mean, it's same to me. Yeah, I had such great 2 races today, and yeah, if Croatia didn't want Euro, but yeah, even if we don't win a team championship, you know, my leg is basically healed from motorcycle crash, because in Croatia we got many earthquakes this year, so yeah, I twisted my ankle, so I was like 3 months without racing. No ACC, no MS2, no project cars, basically no Air Factor 2, no nothing at all. So I'm happy to be here, you know.
It's fantastic to hear that you're back and healed up. So it's unfortunate to see you bow out early in the championship, but for you to come back and just pick up 2 podiums, it's fantastic to see you racing again. It's good to see you back.
Yeah, thank you. And also a nice commentary by you guys. I want to thank you all. I want to thank our organization. And yeah, that's about it, guys.
Yeah, thank you very much. We appreciate it, and I'm sure Ticklish and Stefan Curry also appreciate those words. So that's Speedy Go, our potential team championship winner. We'll see when the real results come out, and a double podium today. So congratulations.
All right. Cheers.
Thank you.
And last, but definitely not least, we'll bring in Keyboard Blondie, who managed a 9th place and a 12th place with a pit stop in that final race, but not quite sure what for, but I'm sure you can explain to our people.
Yeah, I had 2 great races, but I was fighting with Direfile, with VMD Martin and other guys, and close battles, side-by-side action and everything, so enjoyed a lot. But in both races in the middle I spun, In first race, I managed to drive ahead, but in the second race, I hit the wall and got 24 damage in front and had to pit.
That's unfortunate to hear, but you say you had a couple of great races there for yourself. Are you looking to come back for another season if we do another of this, or any other cars in Project Cars 2?
Yeah, absolutely. This is the organization is very great. It's great. It's the opposition, the field is superb. Clean racers and fast everyone is. And yeah, and then the main thing is the midfield is super close together. Like in the qualifying, it was tense between seventh and 10th. So that makes it very exciting to race and to have those battles in the track.
Yeah, it was fantastic for us to commentate on some really close racing tonight, and I'm glad you enjoyed the season, and we look forward to seeing you back next time.
Yep.
So that will do it from us, Sabina. It's been a quick season, but it's been absolutely fantastic throughout. Our provisional winner, we'll wait for official results, but pretty sure As Turbo has claimed the championship here. Big Wilk picking up the second place and Boris third. JP, any final words to close out this amazing championship we've had?
I mean, where do I start? I mean, the season has been absolutely a roller coaster. I mean, we started the season where we thought that we would see Jorger on Strongest Avenger, be battling it out every race, but then one guy would get damaged and another guy couldn't make the start, and then with holidays and Jorger, he couldn't come to the Red Bull rings, and he dropped down to the field, leaving As Turbo to try and cling on to the championship, even though he never won a race. Then you got Big Wilk and Boris, doing fantastic job. Take out P2 and P3, and then you had the great team battle that you had as well. It was, I mean, when you tune in to watch a race, this is exactly what you want to see. When you tune in, you don't know who's going to win, you don't know who's going to be where, and like the racing as well was fantastic to see. Action all down through the grids. This has got to be one of the best racing series that I've ever had the pleasure of watching. The guys on the grid have done a fantastic job, I have to say.
Yeah, it's been great. I've really enjoyed commentating on it. I hope you guys have enjoyed watching and listening to us as well. But it's our final goodbye from us. Until next time, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me, and we'll see you next time.
Good night.
Good night.